We hope we're fed up. We hope we're ready to say enough is enough. I'm going to focus on three things, and I'm not going to get distracted. There are a lot of hot buttons that they'll push out there during a campaign to get us off the track. They'll pull the hand grenade pull the pin out of a hand grenade, throw it in a room, and get us down a rabbit trail that's not talking about jobs, not talking about health care, and not talking about education. And those are the three things that we're going to win on. Those are the three things that the mothers and dads that are looking across their kitchen table that their children want us to do. The Republican Party is about power. It is not about people. It is about power and consolidating power. I will not allow our government to be distracted. Many issues are important, and while they're important, they're not as important as those three. When we get those three done, I'm ready to talk about anything you want to talk about. I used to tell my teachers in Madison County, we can talk about anything you want to talk about with my children in my district are all reading at grade level. When my third graders are reading at grade level, I can talk about anything you want to talk about. But until then, you're not going to get me off the subject. Our prisons are full. Our children are not doing and living up to their potential. And so we got to stay on message, Democrats. We got to stay on message. Okay. I almost said Alabama could be great again. I think Alabama's great now. I don't think we've stood up for ourselves. I'm an American. I'm the dream. My dad was alive today. I'm the dream. And there are lots and lots of other children out there that are going to be the dream as well. We're going to see to it that they are. So Alabama can be great again, but not with this governor. Not with that party that's there now. You're following in the legislature. If you're a woman in Alabama, I don't know whether you need to be carrying or not. I mean, everybody's active. Anyway, I've got 4 daughters, by the way. I got an earful all the time. So we can do the education lottery on our own, by the way. We don't need anybody's permission for that. We don't have to go to Washington. And by the way, Washington is completely dysfunctional. If we're looking to Washington to help us, not coming. Not going to be there for us. I don't care who's up there. They're busy fighting. They're busy trying to become powerful in their own right. So we can do the lottery by ourselves. The existing law says we can expand Medicaid by ourselves. And we know how to create jobs when we have a healthy citizenry and a well-educated citizenry. These are the things we know how to do, Alabama. Think about how great this state is. That at the same time we were creating a rocket in North Alabama to put a man in the moon, we had a young man at the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church who started a revolution that's going on today. In this state, in this confines of these borders, these 4.8 million people. Warner Von Braun, Martin Luther King Jr. came right out of the same environment. And they're out there now. But they won't be out there with a Governor Bentley, and they won't be out there with a supermajority. They will be out there with a James Field. And they will be out there with a Parker Griffith. And we've got our work cut out for us. We're climbing an ice mountain with our tennis shoes on. But I'm a cancer specialist. I saw it every day. I saw it in the face of people every day. Doc, I know you can't do anything for me, but guess what, Alabama? We can do something for ourselves. We know how to do it. It's between our ears. It's in our heart. It's in our gut. The Republican Party has no ideas. They're out of touch. They're out of ideas, and they need to be out of office. And only us can make it happen. It rocks us back on our heels. But you know, if you've got it in you, and your gut knows what the right thing to do is, and your heart tells you what the right thing to do, Getting rocked back on your heels is a stimulus. Failure is a teacher. It's a way for you to reach down inside yourself and say, enough is enough. We're not going to allow this anymore. We're not going to take the funding away from children. We're not going to take the food out of their mouths. We're not going to deny health care. We're not going to delay education. All of this we can do. Okay. This is the tough part of it. It's question time. Anyway, what I wanted to say to you is I am so grateful. I'm kind of like the guy that joined the church, you know, after he wandered off, you know, walking down the aisle, and they put me in the chair and say, "Why did you come fill this card out?" You know, whatever. I had a talk with the executive committee of the Democratic Party. I wrote a letter and I said, "May I come back to the party?" So I got down in that conference room down there at Montgomery, and they were all lined up down one side of the table and the other side of the table, and they all took a shot at me. One young man who'd never said a word the whole time, I was in there about 45 minutes, and he was sitting right next to me. He was bigger than I was, too. And he said, "How do we know we can trust you?" And I said, "I'm getting on the Titanic with you. I'm not getting off that. We're going to right this ship. We're going to make it happen. Because we know how to make it happen." And we've got example after example in Alabama of great leadership. We're just in a drought right now. But we're coming out of it, and we're going to change the conversation.